Hello and welcome to today's episode of Need I Say Myrrh, the Christmas podcast. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Mary Judkins. Hello, Mary.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Well, it's very good to have you, and you are dressed in a very festive way. I'll get you to describe your outfit in a minute, but first, it'd be good if you could introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you? And what do you do?
Right, I'm Mary. I've been married for 51 years. My father was a Baptist pastor, so I've been in family children's ministry since I was a teenager. I'm married to a retired anaesthetist, and yeah, we run a messy church down here, and anything else with children, young people, families, because that's my passion.
Yes, and where is it that you're based at the moment?
We live in Lelant, which is a little village just outside St Ives in Cornwall. We have no shop. We've got two pubs, two little lovely cafes within walking distance that we frequent a lot. It's
It's
quiet. It's lovely.
yes, it is a beautiful part of the world.
The locals don't go in the summer. It's too crowded. We wait until all the holiday makers have left, and then we go into St
Yeah,
Ives.
yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? And as I said, you're very, very festive in your appearance today. Do you want to quickly describe, for as this is an audio podcast, what you're wearing today?
I will. I have a flashing star headdress, and that's because I'm doing an all age service in December and I'm looking at stars using
Hmm.
a chocolate star bar as the visual aid.
Ah,
I'm known for my visual aids.
okay.
I have wreath earrings because we have Messy Church next Sunday
Hmm.
and we're looking at Advent and a lot of our
Hmm.
activities around the Christmas wreath because there is a Christian message in every Christmas wreath. And then I have my t-shirt, Jesus is the reason for the season. Because we were saying yesterday that if you go to any shops, it's very hard to find anything about Jesus and
Hmm.
Christmas. It means that if we do see one, we have to buy it.
Yes. Yes, no, that's great. Yeah, no, that's and it's fun to hear about the different kind of things that you're going to be involved in with children and families over the Christmas period with different visual aids. What's the most? This is putting you on the spot. What's the most elaborate festive Christmas aid visual aid that you've used or produced?
Well, I use a lot of my father's ideas
Hmm.
because he was ahead of his time and he used lots of visual aids. And I found that that's the way that I work best. So I use food a lot. So
Okay. Hmm.
chocolate bars. We've used Snickers. I'm using Mars bars this year as well. Anything to do with chocolate, candy canes at Christmas. I can fit anything into a Christian message. And that's what they tell me at Messy Church. That activity was a bit stretched, yeah, but it still refers to Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, it's good to have people like you in the church with those kind of creative thought processes to bring out the message of Christmas in a fun and engaging way, in a visual way.
And we do Christingle. We have Christingle in the village hall on Christmas Eve at 4 o'clock. We did
Mhm.
it last year, and our pastor then said to me, "It's up to you, Mary, whatever you do." So we built our Christingles during the service, and it was standing room only. We were nearly up to the health and safety limit of people in the village hall. So we've told them this year they'd better arrive at lunchtime for the 4 o'clock service.
Yes. It'd be good to chat about Christmas decorations. And I get the impression that you are someone who probably quite appreciates Christmas decorations, including wearing some of them. So, what is your favorite Christmas decoration, Mary?
Over the years, it's changed. And I think last year it's the star that we have because we have a member in our church who does beading. And she came along to a Christian craft group I go to, and she made these beaded stars. And then
Mhm.
I said, would you do them with the Messy Church group? So she did. And the children and the parents loved these stars. So I actually put mine on the top of the tree. I've also got, and I will show you, even though it's a podcast.
An elephant.
Yes, that was made for me by one of our members of our messy church
Uh-huh.
because they all know how much we love elephants. We've got hundreds and thousands of them. And so she made me that little elephant, and that has pride of place
Mhm.
because, as far as we're concerned, it's the relationships that we build up with the children and families. And so she gave that to me. So actually, I have it hanging up all year.
And we've got quite a few animals on our Christmas tree, but not any elephants yet, which
Oh,
I know you'd be disappointed by.
you need one.
We will work on that. So that's decorations. Let's talk about food. You mentioned lots of chocolate bars and candy canes and things. Uh, but it'd be good to hear about your least favorite festive food.
Well, I could tell you about my husband's really, because every we have a Christmas stocking still. Father Christmas brings us a Christmas stocking, and every Christmas he puts in it a curly whirly. My husband hates curly whirlies, and he's told Father Christmas that, but Father Christmas still keeps putting them in the stocking. He also keeps putting in sugar mice, and my husband hates the sugar mice as well. Oh dear. But as to Christmas food, I think I eat anything.
Eat anything. There we go. But I can't understand people not liking curly whirlies though.
No, nor me.
They're really fun chocolate. They were one of my favorites when you get those selection packs when you're a child, and yeah, the curly whirlies will always be one of the first ones I'd eat. But generally for Christmas, then you're happy with the full range of Christmas delights that are on offer to be eaten.
Oh yes.
And for your Christmas dinner, do you go for turkey or do you go for something?
Well, because I'm not very good at cooking, my husband cooks. I make puddings and cakes. But he said to me when he retired, I'm going to cook because at least I can eat the meals. He is bad. So I never know what we're going to have. But we started off married life going into the hospital for Christmas lunch because in those days, consultants used to carve the turkey on the wards. And so he would carve the turkey. And then when the children got a bit older, at that stage, we all used to tour the hospital. So we
Uh-huh.
go from ward to ward, and the nurses would give our children lots to eat. By the time we got home, they didn't want to eat because they were full up with sweets and crisps and everything. So we used to eat in the evening with junior doctors to give them a break. So we've had unusual Christmases, let's put it like that.
Okay, it would be good to hear a bit about your traditions on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve was when I always helped Father Christmas. And the children would go to bed, and then it was midnight service, and we used to take turns to go to the midnight service because obviously we wouldn't want to take the children. But we had one Christmas Eve, and we'd gone to bed, and we suddenly heard our son, I think he might have been 7, he got up and he went to the toilet. And we heard him say, Father Christmas has been. And we thought, uh-oh, we've only just gone to bed. So one of us went into the bedroom and removed what Father Christmas had left. And we said, we'll have to wait till he goes back to sleep. And all we could hear when he got back to bed was, I'm sure I saw something. I'm sure Father Christmas left me something. I did. I'm sure he's been. And it took him ages to go back to sleep. These days, because we do our Christingle on Christmas Eve at 4 o'clock, that's the start really of our Christmas Eve.
So we come to our final question, thinking about Christmas carols. And what is your favorite Christmas carol?
Well, I actually printed it out yesterday because I like Christmas carols. And I was thinking about Good King Wenceslas, which I know people don't like. In that one, it's because the page walks in the footsteps, which is how we're supposed to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. But my favorite is a Graham Kendrick one, Thorns in the Straw. And it just starts off. Since the day the angel came, it seemed that everything had changed. The only certain thing was the child that moved within on the road that would not end, winding down to Bethlehem, so far away from home. And did she see there in the straw by his head a thorn? And did she smell myrrh in the air on that starry night? And did she hear angels sing not so far away, till at last the sun rose blood red in the morning sky? And basically, it's the story of Jesus' life linking his birth to his death. And the repeated phrase is so bitter, yet so sweet.
Yeah, that is a lovely song. I don't think that we've sung it in the church here. We haven't in my time anyway. But those are good words, and it's always good to remember Christmas within that bigger story of Jesus' life, what that meant.
You see pictures so often where they have the crib and the light shines and it makes a cross in the shadow. And I just think Christmas is the start, and then crucifixion and resurrection.
When the children come down for Christmas for the assemblies, because they come down at Christmas and they come down at Easter, and so at Christmas always reminding them that this is just part of the story.
And that's what we do at Messy Church because we're making wreaths. They always want to make wreaths. I said to them, we've done it 9 years now here. And I said, you don't want to make them again, do you? And they're, yes, yes. So we remind them that the circular shape is for the love of God that's eternal, that it goes on. It's the evergreen leaves that, again, it's on and on. And then the holly, which reminds us of the blood that Jesus shed. So it's the whole story in one wreath.
And some people listening will have just got their idea for a Christmas talk from that. So thank you, Mary, for that as well. It's been great to chat Christmas with you. And I normally mention in every episode, and I haven't so far, that we do welcome correspondence on this podcast. So if anyone has anything that they want to disagree with from what Mary said, or agree with, but disagreement is always more interesting, then they can get in touch at needisaymyrrh@gmail.com. That's needisaymyrrh@gmail.com, and we'll share those in a special episode. And you can get in touch as well, Mary, and let us know how the Christingle goes.
And people can watch me because I have a series of over 70 5 minute, 6 minute little Chris. I did them all during COVID, and they're on my YouTube channel. There was a story, a prayer, and a little activity, and it's watched around the world. So they can see me again if they want to.
What's your YouTube channel? Is that just your name or?
It's my name.
Okay, and we'll put a link in the episode description thing on your podcast provider. So yeah, that'll be good, and I'll have a look at that later as well. So thank you, Mary, and we hope that you have a very happy Christmas.
And to you too.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.